Hello and welcome to Audio Adventures. This is a D&D 5th edition podcast that is made by friends, with friends, and for friends. And if you clicked on us, buckle up. It's going to be a crazy magic carpet ride for you and me. This podcast is used by my nerdy friends and I to escape our lives for a time and act out some pretty ridiculous scenarios. And we are so glad to have you here. A couple things before we start. Our group loves the rule of cool, so I'm sure we will get rules wrong. So if we do, please feel free to tell us in a kind fashion down in the comments. Also, if you want to contribute to the fantastical world of Seblos where this campaign takes place, please make a comment and you may be seeing that kobold cleric in the very near future, along with your name in the show as well. Now, please grab a seat and some popcorn, and let's meet our Wandering Vanguard. Audio Adventures is a D&D 5th edition homebrewed podcast and may deal with triggering themes at times. Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warnings can be found in the description.
Previously on the Wandering Vanguard.
But before you could open it, it seems that Talon had been ate. Freaking out a little bit about that, you resummoned Talon and woke up Tibril. He was worried about Ekemon, but decided to go to the college to find someone with the scrying spell, after a very nice elven woman directed him to another elven man whom had just gotten hired, but not signed the magical sealing contract with Scrynet, named Denifal. You found out that Ekemon was laying down in a plush room on a chaise lounge, surrounded by very familiar-looking elves from the Darrow family, whom you saw on many advertisement around the new city of Astrazalia in your short time here. Tibril, after beating out his frustration on a tree, went back to the B&B, and all of you found rest eventually. You all laid down or continued your rest, and some of you, your rest was fruitful, restful, and some of you, that time might have been spent trying to calm your anger and figure out a plan on how to save a loved one. But the night passes, and the new sunrise of a new day has come. And that's where we begin. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
Did I send Talon out to go to Scrynet?
Last episode?
Yeah, I can't remember if I did that or not.
I believe you did send him up to go and find Scrynet in the night.
Okay.
And, just kind of, buzz around. And it was basically buzz around and see what was happening, right?
Would he be back by now?
So, you and Tibril both were the ones who stayed up all night.
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking your full rest to get rid of that level of exhaustion?
Yeah. I probably should.
So by the time you are able to get up and do anything, he would definitely be back.
Okay. Is there anything weird that he found?
Roll a... I forget if we rolled something last session, but roll a investigation check to see what he found.
Investigation... 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get the gist from Talon as he hops up to you. I'm assuming you're in Tibril's room?
No, I actually stayed in the garden. I remember
Stayed in
that.
the garden?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you've stayed in the garden and you watch the sunrise come over the east, after a couple hours you see from the north the small form of Talon come back and hop up onto your leg. and just kind of look at you and give you a little it kind of reports back to you that the building of Skynet's a rather large one. It doesn't ever seem to be a completely empty building. There always seems to be something happening on the inside. The windows are constantly lit throughout the night that he was there, at least. Elven people, he seemed to have gotten there at a changing of the shift as well. Several elven women and men gone in and came back out. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
I guess I'd be looking for like entrances.
Okay.
Yeah, entrances.
So the building itself is a rather kind of thing. The shape of it's kind of reminiscent to a large sort of steel warehouse.
Okay.
But it has like 3 to 4 levels.
Okay.
So it has like the main entrance that Talon saw, and as he flew around, it seemed that there is an entrance probably on every side, but at the back, with the entrance on the back, there is a large sort of like garage door.
Okay.
So there are plenty of entrances and fire escapes.
Got it.
Talon gives you a little whoo and hops into the little cavern in your side and makes himself at home.
Now I'd like to go find Tibril.
All right. Assuming that, are you also going to sleep away your level of exhaustion? Are you going to get up a little bit later, or are you going to power through that puppy?
I was gonna take the whole rest because I knew I needed to be rested to help to find Ekemon.
Okay, so you're gonna take your full rest.
Take my full rest.
You and Toom are pretty much on the same schedule, so by the time you wake up, about 20 to 25 minutes later, you hear a knock on your door.
Am I full rested at this point?
Yeah, you and
Okay.
Toom were on the same schedule.
Cool. I'm gonna go open the door.
You see Toom standing there.
Yeah. Just so you know, Emma, what you see is a very broken man. A very broken man who looks like he's about to stab somebody. What is it, Toom?
I'd say like on my way up, I was writing down, or while Talon was communicating with me, I was writing down what he found, and then I would just hand my journal to Tibril.
Like the fire escapes and everything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, those will be a surprise tool that will help us later. I don't actually say that, but when you were saying that, I'm like, oh, we are hardcore using those to get the heck out of Dodge when we break in there eventually. Okay, thank you. Good to know. But first off, we got to figure out. There's things to figure out before anything can happen.
I take my journal back and nod.
I'm going to kind of look around the corners and I'm going to wave Toom in type of thing. See if I make sure no one was following him type of thing.
I
So
walk in, or I look around first and then walk in.
I don't know where. So Ekemon is. I don't know if he's trapped, or what. But people were watching him. This is all secondhand information from the guy. I found a guy who could help me scry him just to see if he's safe. And he was laying on a bed asleep with people watching him, like he almost like caged animal type of thing. But it was on a very plush bed. So
I kind of like tilt my head to represent thinking because I can't actually make a noise.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea where he'd be. What time is it? I look outside. Is it like morning, midday? What is it?
Is probably a couple hours past midday at this
Okay.
point.
So he should be awake by this time. I'm gonna cast sending and send a message to Ekman.
Hopefully he's awake.
Ekman, do you know where you are? I had someone scry on you. I saw you were trapped. You gonna
Alright.
buy the new message?
Okay. So you close your eyes and Tim, you see on the outside of Tibril the sort of silvery now energy radiate off of Tibril. And you see like a little bit of it shoot out the window as he completes his message. And there's a couple moments, and there is a reply. It sounds a little hushed from his end. He says, so I might have tried to get some more dirt on your father and got caught. I was poking around Scrynet, and then a woman with black cloak and brown hair caught me. And then he starts to say another word and it gets cut off.
That idiot. Why didn't he take someone with him?
I write in my journal and I show it to Tibril and it says, should we go get him?
I don't think it's gonna be that easy. He said he was trying to get dirt on my dad. Find out what's happened to him, where he's been. It sounds like he got captured by a woman with a black cloak and brown hair. But it sounds like he's still at Scrynet.
I feel like there's two things that Toom would do right now. He'd either ignore your advice and just go to Scrynet and get him, or how far is it to like get to Scrynet? Could Toom walk that distance?
So you remember talking of Scrynet when you went to Valkyrie's proper posture. You could see Scrynet in the distance over the buildings. It is a rather intimidatingly large building, comparably to what is around it. And there's like it seems to be like on its own sort of little land formation.
Oh.
With a bridge leading to it.
Okay.
But yeah, you could walk there.
Okay.
Hey, Toom. I have a question for you.
I just look at you, waiting for you to ask the question.
You were able to disguise us, right?
I nod.
What does that spell entail? Can it really? Can you make a couple of us? Because I'm thinking we should take a small group.
Yeah.
Because if any of us get caught, we need people on the outside to be able to get us out.
Yeah, one second.
And I already look elvish, but I'm assuming I can't stop you from coming.
No, yeah, he'll come either way. Almost there. Wait. Yeah. So it's this spell called Seeming, and I can change the appearance of any number of creatures. Like, it's not limited. It's only limited to like that I can see within range. So I think I technically would have to go so I can see you. I don't know if it's a constant. No, because it's not concentrated. So maybe it would just be a one and done thing. And then, I can give each target a new illusionary appearance, so each person can look different. And then the spell disguises the physical appearance as well as clothing, armor, weapons, and equipment. I can make each character seem 1 foot shorter or taller than they appear. Same way with like thinner or fat or in between.
Mm-hmm.
I can't change a character's body type, so you must choose a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you. The spell lasts for the duration, which is 8 hours, unless I use an action to dismiss it sooner.
Cool. So, the only way we're going to...
This is interesting. The changes wrought by this spell fail to hold up to physical inspection. For example, if you use this spell to add a hat to a creature's outfit, objects pass through the hat and anyone who touches it would feel nothing or would feel the creature's head and hair. If you use this spell to appear thinner than you are, the hand of someone who reaches out to touch you would bump into you while it was seemingly still in midair.
Yep.
Because if we can get to... I'm still forming a plan. But however we get him out of there, it has to be quietly.
Tomb starts writing in his little notebook. And he has an idea. Or more like notes. So it would say, well, you and Tavis... you and Tavis are the two elves in the group, and Nyx can change his form willingly. And I want to go.
Well, we gotta all see who's willing to go, because don't know Nyx too well to know if he'll help out. I don't think. Well, seems like Tavis is always looking for an excuse to go on an adventure. And I don't think he'll fight getting out of chores. And we don't forget Red Guest. We might be able to get him.
I'm not.
But the thing I'm worried about is more of us getting caught and captured. I ain't getting us thrown in prison again.
I nod.
So, but wherever this woman is, she's gonna have a fun time if I meet her, to say the least. We need to save Ekemon. We need to get him out of there.
I nod.
So, I think that's... If we can get... Me and Tavis can probably walk in the front door. Why don't we get the rest of the group up here, who all wants to be a part of this, and see if we can formulate a plan.
I nod.
Why don't you go find Red Guest and Nyx? I'll go find Tavis. And we'll meet back here. Okay?
I walk out the door.
Thank you, too. I'm gonna go put on a shirt. Because I was wearing my PJs while talking to you, so put on my normal clothes and then go find Tavis.
Hey there, everyone. I thought I would take this opportunity in our show to do some catching up. some announceroonies, some talkies even. Just to remind you all of our social medias, you can find us on Twitter, Audio Adventures at the username AudioAdventure2. Why 2, you ask? Well, number 1 was taken. Ayy. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. We have also set up a Ko-Fi. We had a couple comments made at us about being able to support us a bit with that good green juice that the world just seems to run on. So, if you're feeling generous towards us, that would be one of the avenues to help us grow and to encourage us as the artist as well. Another avenue to help us thrive and grow is to share and tell your friends about us. We are one of the many, many, many D&D podcasts out there, so we are ecstatic whenever someone wants to listen to us play D&D. We don't spend any money to advertise this show, so your support means that much more to us. And since there are more of us now, here is our Wandering Vanguard.
Well, I am Zach, and I will be playing Tavis, who is an Eladrin sorcerer. The only interesting fact that I can think of for him is that his last name is just, Elvish for owl, because he likes owls.
I'm Trevor. I am playing the character Nyx-with-burning-red-eyes. Nyx with burning red eyes. And his last name is Bright. He was born into a noble family, hence the actual last name, as he's a changeling artificer. Changelings don't normally have last names, they normally just have hyphenated names.
Hello there. My name is Tibril Darrow. I am a half-elf man from the town of Allerton. I am what you might call a soul knife. And before I get too far, let me explain what a soul knife is. A soul knife is someone who can summon a weapon that is bound to our soul. I used to have a longsword like my father, but now it's a glaive with etchings of flowers throughout the whole thing. Along with being able to summon the glaive, I'm able to use my mind to connect to the soul of others, to communicate and help in battle. Our friend Tomb, not being able to speak, but I'm able to connect to his soul and kind of get a general idea of what he's thinking and what he would say. Along with all that, my mom always said I had a golden glow to me, which I didn't really understand until now to be literal. Our soul's power shows through our bodies as different colors. I've never met another soul knife besides my father, so I don't know where he learned it. My mom and I lived in a town called Allerton. But before I get too very much into that, my mom was a very sick woman. We lost a lot of money and resources trying to find a cure, but nothing worked. My father left to find something to help her, and he never returned. That was when I was 8. I'm 25 now. Once I became a teen, I started working at the local apothecary. My father was a medic, master with blades and medicine, and I wanted to be like that. Medicine and plants, it's always been fascinating to me. I have my dad's journal here, and one day while looking through, I found something that I wasn't really expecting. I found out the book was only half filled, but the last page talked about this plant called the Golden Snapdragon. But apparently it's a plant of legend that can cure any known disease. The only other thing that's on these pages are 2 places, Mistreeston and Chanbu. And I think this is where he thought they were, which makes sense with how rare it is. That'd be in 2 of the hardest countries to get into. I haven't been to either of these places, but it's the only lead I got. And one day we were raided by goblins. And then a group of adventurers came up. They helped clear the goblins away, and they even helped save a lot of people that day. They invited me to come along on the adventure. This is the only chance I had to find my dad. But before I left, my mom gave me a couple things. But she pulled out a cape, a long purple cape with 2 golden pauldrons on the side. It fit perfectly, like it was made to fit me. Then she also gave me her wedding ring. Told me to if I find Dad, tell him to get his butt home. Now I have three things I have to do. I have to find my dad, find the Golden Snapdragon, and make it home alive. Because if I don't, my mother will kill me.
So my name's Emma, and I'm gonna explain to you what my character looks like and everything because he actually can't talk. So his name is Toon. He is a Warforged necromancer, and he kind of got his voice box ripped out, and so he can't speak. All he does is screech occasionally. He does write in a little notebook, so that's how he communicates most of the time. And he is covered in cherry blossoms, and he has a giant gash in the middle of his torso where he hides his familiar talon and some skulls and some other miscellaneous things. And yeah, he is silver with 2 green bands around each arm, and he has blue eyes. And that's pretty much it.
My name is Redguest. I am but a simple tabaxi who lives within others' means. I never knew my parents, but the Order of the Ghost Slayers made up for that. They taught me how to fight with honor as one of their esteemed blood hunters. My mercenary work taught me how to value my own life. These 2 paths have coiled into a journey of broken love and pointless purchases, where I now find myself with the Wandering Vanguard. I have no doubt they will be able to help me on my current mission.
And I think that's about it. Thanks so much for listening to this episode, and the next one will be up for all of you next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See ya!
So since the both of you got up pretty darn late, we're going to go back in a little bit of time for the people who have a regular sleeping schedule, like Tavis, Nyx, and Redguest. So all of you have woken up and made your way down to get breakfast, those of you who want it.
Gotten like an apple or something, and then quickly run back up the stairs to continue work.
Visaria, who's now wearing a sort of white sweater with a black skirt and tights, just kind of throws you the apple. She's walking past.
I call back, thank you!
You're welcome. And then serves the other 2 that are at the table what you have ordered. And walks back into the kitchen.
I am going to eat my meal and kind of just relax.
So you eat your food. You see that it is actually pretty. It's a chiller day to day. It looks like that either the people aren't up or something, but you and Redguest and Beliana, Thelry, and Virgil seem to be the main ones in here. There's a couple people off in the corner having a quieter conversation, but they don't pay you any mind. And after a little while, Visaria comes back in. This time she has put her hair up in a bun on top of her head, the darker tips of her hair sticking out. And she puts a hand on your left shoulder, Tavis, and looks at you and says, don't forget about the to-do list today, please. I would really, again, like your help.
With my mouth full, I'm gonna say, I won't, I will, jeez. And I'm gonna keep eating.
And she chuckles a little bit. All right. And flips her hair in a manner like she did when you were younger, and then walks quickly away.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna finish my meal and go back to my room, I guess.
And Redguest and bids you a farewell as you go, and stays with Virgil, Thelry, and Beliana, who seem to be talking about just general random things. Beliana asking about several things that is pretty self-explanatory to people who lived outside her village, but not to her. And it looks like Thelry is recouping pretty well after his imprisonment in the Goliath camp. And you head back upstairs. As you make your way back into your room. Tomb, you come down the steps. Where are you going?
Do I see Redguest?
You went all the way down the steps to the eating room.
Mhm.
So Redguest is sitting there with Virgil, Belliana, and Thelry, and Belliana's just generally like stuffing her face, and then in between bites asking Redguest questions about just general life, and Virgil is interjecting every so often, like correcting her on some things.
I walk up to them and I write in my little notebook and I show it to Redguest and it just says, go to Tibral's room when you're done eating.
Alright. Now finish eating and go to the Tibral's room.
I nod and then walk away. I guess I'd walk back upstairs to check if Nyx is in his room.
Next you hear on your door.
Enter.
I open the door and walk in, and then I walk right up to him.
You see as just a spread of just little metal pieces,
in
little
mind,
screws.
The foldable hole, or the portable hole, is in the middle of the room,
Yes.
on the ground.
Yeah, two would avoid that.
Okay.
You see a large astral black hole in the middle of the room with just like scraps of metal, wire, different sort of like tools that he has just strewn about.
So I walk up to him and I write in my little notebook. And I try to show it to him. I guess I don't know if he notices I'm there. Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I put down the helmet for a second, and I look at the notebook. What does the notebook say?
The notebook says, go to Tibral's room when you're... Well, I can't say when you're done because it won't finish. But I just say go to Tibral's room.
Why?
And I write, I'd say Ekman's been captured and we need help. That's it.
Cool. I'm gonna finish up this magic item. But here, take a couple magic items to help you. And I hand to the Rod of Security and the Folding Boat.
The Rod of Security and the Folding Boat. Okay.
I don't know how useful these will be, just... And then I continue my focus shifts off of Tomb and onto the helmet, and I completely ignore his existence.
Okay. But you said Rod of what?
Rod of Security.
Security.
I will send you the details.
Thank you. Okay, that's Tomb. Tomb kind of stares at him for a little bit, unsure as to what just happened, and then walks out and then goes back to Tibral's room, carrying these items.
And it's a large metal just rod with vine engravings with a circular sort of top that seems to, like, the vines seem to be like holding up the
You marked
orbit.
down that you had it, right, Emma?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take those off the list.
Yep.
And the foldable boat is a paper boat, current.
Okay.
And you
Good to
feel
know.
large magic auras emanating from both of them, so he didn't just hand you a rod and a boat and say, shoo shoo. You know that these are magic items. As
Yes,
he
I do.
has also said.
I didn't say what they did. I just handed them saying that they're magic items.
Yeah.
Yes. Alright.
Sure, we'll figure it out.
Alright. So you have contacted Redguest and Nyx.
Mhm.
What else are you doing after that?
Oh, I'm just gonna head back to Tibral's room.
Alright. Tavis, you are in your own room. Is there anything you'd like to do? Just chilling in there?
No. Just gonna chill. Maybe read a little.
Awesome. You find several of the books that you are familiar with. There was a couple of books that have been added, it seems. Like a sort of like a biology of different species of owl, and then on the inside it's a note from your mom that says, "I know how you like owls. Love you." And then you find several just like various different books about your interests that have been added since you've been gone.
I pick a random one and read it.
All right. Roll a d10 for me.
No way to take out our dice for this game.
Gosh, D&D.
Oh wait, we need dice. Crap, I'll be right back.
3.
You find that this book is again about owls, as most of them have been, but it's not about like the biology, but it's rather about their migratory patterns and their sleeping patterns and just their sort of like ways of life, sort of like the Watcher's Guide to Owls, to see how you can find them in the wild, so you'll know where to go, where they'll most likely be.
Cool. And I say that as I flip the pages.
You find several sorts of different species, and then at the end, this seems that this one was donated by your dad, who says, "Found this at the bookshop. Thought you'd like it, Dad."
I chuckle.
So, reading sort of the newer books that have been donated by your family, feeling like a little sense of warmth of, oh, they thought about me enough to do something while I was gone. It looks like they thought about me or something. So you read the little gifts, just chilling in your room and spending some time just continuing to unwind, as your past sort of year has been a rather crazy one comparatively since the last 6 or 7 that you've left. And you spend your time there. In Tomb, you head back up to Tibral's room where not Ekman. Oh, you're gonna look for Ekman. Redguest has entered.
No, I was gonna go find Tavis.
Oh, sorry.
That was my job. I gotta go find Tavis.
I forgot. So, yeah, you, Tibral, you head down as Tavis, you are reading through your books and feeling all of these feelings and just kind of settling in. You hear the on your door.
I go and answer it.
Tavis.
Yes.
I need to talk with everybody.
All right.
Can you come up to my room?
Sure. And I follow Tibral.
Tibral is like at the point of like, you're like walking at normal. If you're walking at like normal speed, he's like speed walking up the stairs.
Then I'm just gonna go lightly at my own pace.
All right.
If he had a pin, he would definitely be clicking it.
Tavis, you see a very unnerved Tibral before you as you're being led quickly up to the room, and you see Tomb and Redguest all in there as well, but no Nyx.
So is everybody in the room now?
Everyone who seems like they will come.
Cool. Thanks for grabbing him, Tomb. Appreciate it. Hey guys. I have a favor to ask.
Okay, I'm in.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Well, good. Well, let me tell you what's happening. Ekman got captured. Apparently he was trying to get some dirt on my dad or something. That's what he said. And a woman captured him. Now I'm assuming he's still at Skynet.
What kind of woman? Do you have any description?
Black cloak and brown hair.
Yes. Sam, is this pretty similar to the,
Yeah.
So I can assume this is Rio?
Yeah. You would from seeing her your day
Yesterday
in
morning?
D&D time. Yeah, yesterday morning. You remember her in a black cloak, and then her hair you obviously remember.
I'm going to put my hand on my head, just kind of like shake it back and forth a little bit. Be like, oh, I know her. Okay, what else?
Well, you know this woman?
More or less.
Can
Hey Sam. You just said this. The
Even
boat
if
would
it's
react
not
to that.
in the hands of the person who says it? I didn't read
Yeah.
that far.
Okay.
Or does it have to be specifically directed at the boat?
Yeah, you have to use it says you have to use an action to speak it.
It's up to
Evens or odds?
Oh, don't blow up Tomb. Don't blow up Tomb.
That's easy.
Be wrong. Please be wrong.
Evens, of course.
Okay. So you feel for a second after a keyword has been spoken, that Nyx didn't. I don't think Nyx really told you, but you feel you feel the boat.
I didn't tell her anything. I didn't tell Tomb.
You feel the boat in your hand pulse for a second, but it grows like it shrinks back into the paper boat that was in your hand before.
Okay.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Because I would recognize the boat because I was there with them.
Yeah, you see Tomb holding the rod that Nyx bought and also the paper boat that Nyx bought.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay, I'm going to take that boat. I'm going to let's not mess with that. Nope. Let's not mess with the boat.
Evens or odds?
Oh, no.
I only said the first two letters. I said the first two letters. Evens.
Okay, you're lucky. You feel the boat pulse as you almost say the whole word, and as you cut yourself off, it shrinks back down.
Putting that in the bag of holding. Putting the boat in the bag of holding.
You take the rod as well?
That one can stay. The boat is the one I'm worried about.
Oh, set Nyx.
Very sad.
You ruined my chaos.
Chaos Ray.
But you know this woman, Red Guest?
Yes.
Do you
more or less hates me?
Okay. Should we be worried about her?
On a
Is she-
scale of 1 to 10, I'd be about a 8.
Good.
With 10 being very worried.
Okay. Love that. Because
But I think as long as I'm not the one who speaks to her, we maybe more like a 6.
well, that was the other thing I was thinking. Tomb has the spell Seeming, and he can make us look elven to break in. Type of thing. Because I'm thinking the easiest, because from Talon's like recon, it sounds like it's always filled with elves. So if we can make ourselves look that like elves, we can sneak in, find Ekman, break him out, and then Tomb, you said there were a bunch of fire exits, like ladders leading out of the building?
Yeah, because Sam, you said fire exits, but I guess you didn't necessarily mention stairs, but I assumed there would be.
Fire exits that have the
Like, you know, the
sort of-
typical spiral staircase outside the building, like in New York?
yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So we have those to get out, theoretically. I figure getting in is not going to be the hard part. It's going to be getting him out. Tavis, are you in?
Yes, I am in.
I can't thank you guys enough. This really means a lot to me. But yeah, it sounds like we're going to have... It's going to be a hard time here coming up. It's going to be tough. But we need to come up with a plan. And all I can think of is the way to get us in, but that's if they don't have any magical auras that are causing spells to be diminished there. Do you guys have any?
Although now that I think about it, she might not hate me as much as I think she does, but she's looking for someone, and she's at Skynet, and I may have made her angry last time we spoke. Yesterday morning.
Did she mention who she was looking for at Skynet?
Vesendra Valerie?
I haven't heard that name before. Tavis?
I don't.
It's not one of your many siblings, I don't think.
That's what I'm looking for. Shh. Just in case I get something wrong.
It's not one of your siblings.
Nah, I just saw it.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, well, that bodes well. Tavis, do you know if any of your siblings work at Skynet?
Should I roll a history check?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, if you're not sure, we can always ask your mom. I feel like
16.
1 second, let me get my notes out. You, when you left, the only one that you know that got a job at Skynet, was your second oldest sibling, Vinroris.
Well, my second oldest sibling, Vanroris, has a job there.
Oh yes, your sister who lives in the city.
Yes.
Do you think she would be able to get us in? Like,
Maybe.
Maybe she can say like her brother was to give wanted a tour of Skynet and see what it was like.
Tavis being confident in knowing his sibling. I mean, it's been a while, but I don't think I don't think she would be too. I don't think she would mind giving us a tour.
You know, Vinroris seems to be a more technical sibling. Just like, not like artificer level, but really interested in the sort of technical aspects of a job or something like that. So if you can get her talking about, if you can get her talking about sort of like the technical side of things, or like little technical details about the job that they have to do, you might probably have a great chance of getting what you want.
Alright. Tavis will keep that in mind.
So if we can get her to give us and then Tibber puts his hands up to do an air quotes tour, we might be able to find Ekman.
Yeah.
It's just, would she be chill with the prison break?
I mean, we might have to not say that we're doing a prison break and more of distracting her. But,
What do you mean?
I mean, I guess we could ask her to help, but
Well, I'm willing to try anything at this point.
I just don't want to put her in danger is all. But if she decides she wants to help, if you want to tell her, then we can do that.
Well, let's just see if she'd be able to give us the tour.
Well, all right then.
And maybe when you ask her, if you could mention, like, if she's seen a tiefling before, like a red tiefling or something like that.
All right.
Maybe that would give us confirmation if he is there.
Gotcha.
If we can get him out of whatever cell or whatever is holding him there. Tomb, how fast could you cast Seeming? How fast is Seeming? Is it instantaneous?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's the cantrip.
I don't know if it's a cantrip for her. Use a spell.
Spell slot?
Let me make sure. Yeah.
And then me and you, Red Guest, we can keep an eye out for Ekman, and you can keep an eye out for that for the woman you were talking about. Rio is what you said?
Yes.
We can keep an eye out for them. So that way, if things go awry, we can try to divert chaos as much as we can.
You got it.
Again, I really appreciate you guys. I know I couldn't do this by myself, at least not quietly.
Well, we got your back anytime you need it. Also, anything for Ekman.
Who? Just kidding.
All right.
I think we have at least somewhat of a plan.
Yes.
So should we tell Beliana and Felry and Virgil that we're leaving and we'll be back?
Yes.
Tomb, do you think we need to tell Nyx that we're heading out?
I shake my head no.
Okay. Red Guest, I know you're the one who's not used to me talking telepathically to you. This will probably be a time we'll be doing that a lot more. If that's okay with you.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's only me. It only allows me to talk to you. I don't read thoughts or anything to that effect. It just allows us to make a psionic connection to talk.
Probably good.
If you were worried about that. I know people can get a little weirded out when you say talk to them inside their head.
Well, I'm glad you're giving me the warning beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I say we should travel lightly, so that way we don't cause suspicion.
Does that mean no swords?
I don't think it doesn't. I think you can still carry swords. Wait, I'm going to turn around. Do I see Ekman's swords in the room?
You see the majority of his swords in the room.
Can I look through them?
No, you
See
want to
if
look through them?
Like if there's one better than mine?
Roll investigation.
Don't let me down, dice. You always do. Okay, so that is investigation. Ooh, wait, what's that? What do I have advantage for? No. Okay, so 16.
16?
Yep.
You are combing through all of his swords. Seems that there's some of them that are pretty chipped. But most of them, it looks like he keeps pretty
I'll warn you, if you're looking for anything fancy, usually I just see him sharpen them. That's about it. You're taking care of him.
I was just hoping for something strong in case we run into trouble.
Well, for now we can, because you have your rapier, right? Is that what it?
Yep, I have my rapier, my claws, and my fancy cloak.
Perfect.
And I open my cloak like a discount Dracula.
Perfect.
I love it.
They won't suspect a thing.
Not the thing.
I'm gonna fold up my cape and stick it in the bag of holding.
Did I give you back the bag of holding that you gave me? Do I still have it?
I'm assuming you did. I don't. Did you? If you did,
I know you. No, because you have your dad's bag of holding, and then you gave me yours. So so yours is in my torso.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably take that out and stick the rod in there, and also take off my star cloak and stick it in there. But I keep the wound closure pendant on. Everything else I put in there.
Good.
But to answer your question, Raul, you find that like I was saying, most of the swords are not really magical. It seems like he just picks up whatever sword. There's a couple of them that you're kind of like going through. You're like, oh, that one, there's a little tinge, but it's like a +1. And then there's another +1, and then you kind of like see a kind of get towards the end. There's like a sword that you never really seen him pull out too much before, and it has the hilt of it is kind of like curved up like a sort of like a lion head. It's blue iron looking, with gold filigree kind of going around and around the handle, and then the rapier sort of blade like comes out and curves slightly. The top of the blade isn't straight, but it kind of like curves inward a little bit and then back up at the end.
I'm going to borrow this, if that's all right, Tibro. I'll return it if you remind me.
Do I recognize that sword?
You recognize that sword as like one he found one day after when he kind of like told you, like, oh yeah, like I found this. I don't use it too much because it seems a little too fancy to be swinging around in the air.
I don't think he'll mind you borrowing it. Plus, if a fight breaks out and we get him out, he's gonna need something to fight with.
Exactly. I'll pick it up and sheath.
So
I guess.
Sheath.
As you pick it up, you kind of feel your hand go a little cold for like half a second, kind of numb, and then it warms back up. And I will send you the item information for the Frostband rapier.
Ooh. Frostband.
Thank you. Woo.
All right.
Alrighty. Are we... You guys need to grab anything before we go?
I'm all set to go.
Tomb?
I shake my head no.
Red guest?
I am good. Inside check.
Well, let's go do this.
And that was this episode of Audio Adventures. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and most of all, please share to get out the word so we can share our story with you and keep doing what we're doing. If you have an idea for an NPC, a shop, or even an encounter, please comment down below. You might be seeing any of those in the next session or maybe even the upcoming sessions. Again, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Please stay safe, everyone, and wear those seatbelts.